Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday, April 15th, and we're going to harvest some potatoes that we planted back on January 16th. So we're 89 days in, and I noticed we had some bug issues on some of them, and looks like we got maybe some brown spot. I don't believe it's blight, but it's been 90 days anyway, so we should have some potatoes in these buckets. But let's walk around here and we'll take a quick look at the buckets, and then before we actually harvest these potatoes, I'm going to throw in a clip of when I planted them so you can see where we started out with pretty much just kitchen scraps in these buckets, and then we'll see what we actually ended up getting from them. So let me get the camera turned around. We're going to walk over here and grab the bucket and get started. Okay friends, let's walk over here to where the buckets are. I've been busy today getting these beds ready. I'm about to start filling them with soil. I'll put that in a different video. Let's walk around here. Still got cabbages going, so everything's looking pretty good there. A couple of them's got heads on the nice solid heads formed. That one right there is pretty decent, and then there's one right over there is pretty decent. A couple of them bolting. That right there to me, I believe, is bolting. And that one over there looked like it's starting to bolt too. The other ones seems to be okay right now. And we actually did finally get all our tomatoes planted out. Well, most of them anyway. But that's not what we're doing today. We're going to go over here and grab this bucket of potatoes. But as you can see, that one right there has two different kinds of potatoes. This one just has some red potatoes. And these other buckets planted at the same time, they're not looking as bad. That one over there is starting to get what looks like some brown spot on the leaves. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and harvest these two. I did notice that this is probably the red potatoes, and I'm going to guess this is the other type, I believe, which was white potatoes. But we will see when we dump the buckets. But we're going to start out here with this bucket right here. Walking around over here where the wheelbarrow's at, and dump it out in the wheelbarrow, and we'll just see what we got. So let me get it over here. I'm gonna get the camera set up on a stand. Okay friends, we got our camera turned around. We're going to dump our bucket of soil into this wheelbarrow and then dig through and see how many potatoes we get. But before we do that, I'm going to throw in a little clip and let you see back when I planted them back in January. So watch that, and then we'll be right back. Getting ready to plant some potatoes in some buckets over here. Show you what we got going on. We're actually going to just try and plant pieces of potatoes that I had saved. These red ones here are actually from potatoes we grew, but they're just small pieces of potatoes, so see what happens. Those, they don't look too good, and then these are green, so we might get something off of those. But I'm going to plant them in these 5-gallon buckets and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down and get these planted. But what we're going to start with is put about 3 inches of dirt in the bottom of these buckets. Then we'll put the potatoes pieces in, and then we'll cover them with about 6 more inches of dirt. Get them done, I'll show you what I have. Okay friends, so you see where we started with was pretty much just kitchen scraps. So now let's go ahead and dump the bucket and see what we got. Let's move the camera just a little bit closer. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I got this red bucket here and a little shovel that I'm going to use to dig through the soil, and I'll put my potatoes in this when I get them out. But I'm going to reach over here now and grab the 5-gallon bucket and dump it out, and we'll just see what we got. Let's just dump it out. See what we got. All right, there's all the roots at the bottom. What we started with, just a couple of kitchen scraps. Let's just dig through here and see if we find anything, or maybe we end up with nothing. I don't know. We shall see. So far, we found, oh, there, I see one. There's one. There's another one. Another one. They're not nothing big, but more than we started with. These are like new potatoes. If the bugs and disease hadn't got to that, we might have actually got something decent off of those. But we got something. And they'll be tasty, I am sure. So, yeah, they could have gone a little bit longer, but these are going to be some nice, tasty new potatoes, which is fine. But the plants were dying off, so I mean, I don't know if they would have gotten any bigger. That is that. That's that. Make sure we didn't miss none. All right, well. So out of that little bucket, we started out with not much. And I think had we not had bugs and disease issues, we might have actually done even better. But I'm happy with that. That's a good meal right there. So these are red potatoes. Now let me go ahead and grab the other bucket that has red potatoes and some white potatoes in it. And then the other two, since they aren't having as bad issues, and based on what we found here, I think we're going to let them go a little bit longer. Hopefully we might get some bigger potatoes out of them. But let me go get this other bucket. All right. Y'all can't see me, but I think you can still hear me. This is a little bit bigger. This is a 7-gallon nursery pot. Let's see what we find in it. Here we are, 7-gallon nursery pot. I think I'm going to take the soil that was on the other potatoes and put them back in the bucket just so that ain't in our way. We don't miss any. Let me just do this real fast. You probably hear people mowing and weed eating and all kinds of stuff in the background. Spring is here for sure. Everybody's out in the yards working. As I said, we've been busy today. We need to get our raised garden beds planted out. Some of our tomato plants look like they got a little bit of damage. The other night we got down to like 34 degrees 2 nights in a row and didn't kill nothing. But I'm not sure it did them any favors. So here we go. We're gonna dump this bucket. Number 7 nursery pot. All right. So let's do it. All right. I already see one poking out right there. right there. Yeah, some ones make it a little better, but not much. That's a white one right there. Yeah, I think we're pulling these a little too soon, which I knew that, but it's all right. Not getting a lot. Maybe a little disappointing, but we did get some potato. And they were pretty much free. I can tell you I didn't do much with these. I planted them and watered them occasionally, but other than that, there wasn't a lot of fuss done with them. Yeah, I can see where there was more that were going to form. Little tiny potatoes on them. Just didn't get to where they needed to be yet. That's pretty much how these all are. They could have gone longer. But like I said, I'm not sure they could have based on the disease pressure and the insects. So this bucket was actually probably not as good as the other one. I'm not sure what it was. Let's see what she's showing here. There wasn't any really good white potatoes in it. But yeah, it might be a little bigger because I can't really hardly get them all in my hand as easily. But about the same. So that's what was in the other one. That was the biggest white potato right there, which is not very big. But they'll still make a nice, tasty meal. Probably a couple meals, actually, altogether between the two buckets. Started out with kitchen scraps, and it's, again, enough for a nice meal. So we've got some planted over here. Got some planted over here in some other buckets that were from seed potatoes that we bought at Tractor Supply. And so we're expecting them to do quite a bit better than these. And of course, we got the other two buckets that were the same basic potato scraps that we're going to let go longer. So it's been 89 days. I'm going to say in another maybe 2 weeks. It's been during that colder weather. They probably were growing a little slower because normally it's about 90, 100 day type thing for these potatoes. And I think I'm going to show you the potatoes over here that we're growing from the seed potatoes, and you see the progress on those. They were planted here just maybe 4 weeks ago at the most. So let's get the camera turned around and let you take a good look at that. Okay, so let's walk over here real quick. Let's say I planted the first two probably about 4 weeks ago, maybe. And then the other two over there was planted. Oh, it's about to fall down. Anyway, foot got hung up there. And then there's the other two. And like I said, those were planted a little bit later. And I got more higher hopes for those. That's all our peppers planted out, or most of them. Everything's looking good there. And the rest of the garden, I mean, everything's looking pretty good. That was our early potato harvest anyway. And see over there the beds I've been working on. Get busy on those here in a little as soon as I stop this video. So thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. And enjoy your day.